using my Marine Corps voice. Okay, so we did put the tickets out earlier, so Mark was going table to table to see if anyone wanted to buy tickets. And we have some here. I know that the pot's not too big today since we had a winner last week, but we have a wonderful consolation prize here for the winner. So buy tickets, buy often. Welcome today. August the 27th. We're off to a good start. Okay, so thank you, Brian. He's got the mic today. And our pledge is going to be Kurt Curtis. So, Kurt, would you lead us in pledge allegiance?
We pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Richard Levin, is he here?
Yes, I've got the 18 was standing right next to me.
How about a thought?
Okay, in honor of Labor Day, I'm going to paraphrase Mark Twain. If your job requires you to eat a frog, do it first thing. If your job requires you to eat 2 frogs, eat the larger one first.
Thank you, Richard. And today we have a little special treat. One of our guests today is Jonathan Greenberg, and he brought his guitar. Yay. Practicing home on the range all week. So, Joe?
I'm going to let Jonathan take. What do you need?
I need to stand
An introduction?
No, I need to stand next to you.
Oh, stand next to me.
I sing with you.
I'd love to stand next to you. All right.
And we want everyone to sing along, because that's the whole purpose.
Be a home where the buffalo roam, and the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
I'd like to thank our greeters. Mark Varney was actually busy at the cash register. Alan Bertozzi and David Gustafson and Laurie stood in to cover some of the absentees. Brian Bauer has brought us the door prize today, and it's a good one. Book, American Grown, by Michelle Obama, about the garden of lightness. I think you'll find it very interesting. Nancy Wilson has a kind of like joke for us today.
I'm leaving early today, didn't
Well, you better find someone to stand in there.
you? Come on, who's going to cover for me? Paula has one. No, not today.
Cindy, do you have a joke? Oh, Dan's got a joke. All right, Dan can come to it. So I'd like to introduce our visiting Rotarians. If Michael Cook would come up and do that.
We are lucky to have Melody Jackson back again, Mesa, Arizona. State. Soul visiting.
In that case, we'll go on to the introduction of guests. And if you have a guest at your table, then raise your hand and our cracked roving microphone. Either side.
My pleasure to introduce a former member of the club, Chip Otero.
And it's my pleasure to introduce my guest, Summer Morris. I'd like to introduce our guest this morning, Jonathan Greenberg. You may have read his blog about the hospital.
I brought Jack Wright from Crosswinds Concepts, and he didn't bring a car, but he did bring a chair, evacuation chair. And while I have the microphone, what we're trying to do is develop evacuation chairs for the plant. So Wayne is looking into it in his makers group, and I have a problem with become independent as programs in Napa, and because of our disaster preparedness work, they were able to contact all their clients within 30 minutes, clean up the glass, and get fix their apartments and everything. I'm very happy about that. And remember to keep shoes by your bed, and gloves and hats, things like that, because a lot of people were injured at the hospital with so there you go.
I'd like to introduce my lovely bride, Susan Mark Raymond, who has a short announcement.
Hello, everybody. Hi. If you look on your table, you'll see these beautiful posters, and it's kind of like Garden Day, I think, because of show Mama's book too. But this, from September 11th to October 25th, at our own Luther Burbank Experiment Garden, there's going to be a beautiful colored pencil botanical illustration art exhibit called The Legacy of Luther Burbank. It's sponsored by the Sebastopol Center for the Arts, and this has been like a year-long collaboration between Nina Ansa's botanical illustration class and Luther Burbank Experiment Garden. They've gone there, and each one of the gallery exhibits is a year-long study of one of Luther Burbank's experiments and subsequent plant, flower, or fruit. And they're beautiful. And it's so wonderful to think that it's kind of a collaboration of all of Sebastopol. So take a walk up there, see they've been doing a lot of work at the Experiment Garden. It's beautiful. And these prints and originals are gorgeous. And maybe someday I'll have an illustration up there, but not this year. I'm going to go there as a guest too. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Morning, President Kemp. I'd like to introduce Oscar Chavez as our program speaker today.
Any other guests? Rotarian. How about a hand for all of them? We had an interesting set of captions this week. I don't know if we got together. Someone suggested the bunnies do this. But Laurie, David, and Pam all submitted entries that are very, very similar.
Yeah, Barbara has all the money. Yeah.
So I had no choice but to declare a 3-week tie. So, but Pam is not here today. But David and Laurie.
Whoever.
How about you, John?
Sure.
There.
Get up there if you want to get up and go get it. Sure.
crunch. Oh, yeah. Then the heat, everything meant burn.
Thank you. I know, it goes right on this, but that's the best place for it. Except I think it's supposed to be dark chocolate. This is coffee, not coffee.
Sorry about that. Okay, birthday. We have two birthdays. Richard Ruby is August 30th. Brian Bauer is August 30th.
My husband is on.
And so am I, and so is Julie's husband.
That's my husband.
Wow, okay. So you don't have to say anything to the spouses, but if it's your birthday, that's $10. Wedding anniversary, the only one was yesterday, but I think we didn't recognize them. And that was for Elaine and Bruce Campbell. We don't know how many years, but it's
Bruce has a new wife up there.
Bruce has a new too, two of them. And Alan Bertozzi celebrates 1 year. Okay. In our announcements, first of all, we need a Cajun update. So Gail, if you would lead off, several people want to talk about that.
Okay, we need the sound.
There we go, try it again.
Good job.
Okay, we're 1 week out, and we're gonna have a great Cajun festival this year. It's amazing how this pulls together, which is largely thanks to the men at this table and several other people. However, I do have a few things I want to go through this morning. First of all, Vicki, do you have something to tell us about the program?
So Sonoma West Times does our marketing and does our program for us. So in order, they don't charge us anything, so they would like to recoup their cost. So you guys can advertise your business card for $75. I'm collecting cards today, because Steve needs them today in order to get it into newsprint. If you want a larger ad than $75, he can go ahead and design that as well. So again, if you'd like to advertise, give me your business card today, if possible. Thanks, Gail.
So you're going to go around and collect people's business cards
Just this morning, yeah.
this morning, so put those business cards out. I think that it's a great way for us to say thank you, because frankly, this is tremendous publicity we get out of this. We really have to thank Sonoma. And I want to also ask for gas cylinders, so Michael, do you want to talk about that? And you might also talk about your wonderful food.
We're gonna have wonderful food. Yeah, we do need propane tanks, so bring them on Friday. When you come down, we'll probably need another 7 or 8 5-gallon propane tanks. So bring them down, put your name on them, so you'll be sure to get them back. And that's it.
And they should be full of propane.
Yes, no empties. Did you want people to help with prep as well?
Oh, yeah. Terry's got it.
Okay, so Terry, you're going to talk about that maybe in a minute? Okay.
As soon as you're done talking.
Well, I can keep going. You know, I mean, you know, we can wrestle over this microphone too, Madam President. At any rate, I think things are really going well, and we have learned that the more people we can get in there dancing, the better we will do. So remember, this really supports our community, and if you have any questions, ask Scott. And Terry. Terry, would you like to take over?
You want it back, or can I give it to Brian?
Oh, you can.
All right. Volunteering, you guys have done great in the last couple of weeks, stepping up to the plate. But as the old adage goes, the plate's half full or half stepped on. So we still have some slots to fill. We need to work with whoever knows who was at the beer detective drunk training the other day, so we get them in the right places. Or, excuse me, responsible beverage service training. One thing we did not have out earlier was a time slot for Friday morning, helping Michael prep food. That's done where, Michael?
We're doing here.
Here, at 9 o'clock. And we need about 4 or 5 people, and all you're doing is dicing and slicing all day, all morning. And the kids just through a lot of work. And compared to the really old days of cooking Cajun food, this is a far cry. It's easy, it's quick, you're in and out, and ready to go set up things later that day. So more room to volunteer. If you have outside volunteers, let us know, put them on the list, give us a phone number, and Michael and I are trying to keep that going. That's it.
So I'm the sponsorship guy, and I want to thank everyone that has stepped to the plate, provided sponsorships, and helped me to locate sponsors, and still looking and interested in leads. So if you know of anyone, let me know. Thank you very much.
Charlie, you want to say a little bit about the district grants process that you're going through? Do you need any assistance there?
But let me first mention regarding gate volunteers, we're planning on taking credit cards at the gates this year. So if anyone wants to be a gate volunteer and bring their iPad, we can use the iPads to swipe the cards and have a little adapters. So we're looking for iPads at the gates. Regarding the grants, we are applying for a district grant of $2,500 to start a maker program. Wayne is heading this up at Laguna High School. And he's got the application done. It's going to get to Barbara very shortly, and we'll keep our fingers crossed. Thank you, Wayne.
You could pass that to Paula right there. Talk to us about the fun activity for the volunteers.
Tonight is the last night for Peacetime concert, so join us tonight at Ives Park and enjoy the music.
And Jonathan, do like a 5-minute Q&A on local issues. If you have any questions about what's going on in the city right now?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenberg, and I'm running for city council in Sebastopol. I'm interested in hearing some thoughts about the local issue, just to say a couple of the things that we're looking at as the major issues we're working on. What got me interested in running, well, I've been involved in local politics for a while, but the hospital issue has really called to me. The absence of an emergency room and a way to help take care of my young children, myself, should I have a stroke, my 88-year-old neighbor whose family I told I'd watch out for her when her husband died. All these things are much less possible without an emergency room. And I felt that the city council really needed to have a robust answer being part of what it will take to reopen. I've never seen such a populist issue, such an outpouring of support with all the signs for Open Our Hospital. And this is something that, and the group of people who come together, who Gail has brought together with Jim Good and Dan Smith and others, and doctors in the area, and Richard Powers and Dennis Kallstrom, it really is the most impressive group of business people focused on one issue that I've seen. And it's going to take that to restore and reopen this emergency room. The earthquake really brought to mind for a lot of us the need for, to work on a plan and the need to really reopen. So that issue, the idea that I would like to see a city council that says, what can we do to reopen an emergency room. And I didn't feel that response, so I felt like, well, instead of criticizing your response, maybe I'll run for city council and try to help be part of the solution. When the hospital opens, it will take a lot of political and community support to support it, and I hope to be part of that solution. The other thing I'm working on is Measure M, we now call it. I started the Restore Library Hours campaign to reopen libraries on Wednesday. The library hours have been cut back 25% for the past 4 years. The first time in history they were closed Monday for 100 years. And both these issues are to me about funding the commons. Who are we as a community? Who am I as a parent in this community? If we can't provide the level of service for the sick, like hospitals or libraries for our children and for the seniors and teens who use them, as the people who came before us 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 70 years ago. So this idea that there's this new normal and we can't afford it is something I really resist as a part of this community. So we're doing this. We convinced the supervisors to put a ballot measure that will create a 1/8 of 1% sales tax. And we're really urging people to vote for it and support this Measure M. I'd be glad to answer questions about it. Sonoma County spends just $33 per capita on libraries. Napa spends $51. Marin spends $95. So it will raise $10 million a year or $100 million over the next 10 years. It's a very exciting small sales tax measure. It will cost a family of 4 like mine about 60 cents a month. And it will reopen libraries on Mondays and on evenings, at children's programs, senior programs, a lot more books. And then there's this question that I was just curious to ask people in the room. There's also a utility tax for the county, for the city on the measure. And I'm just curious it extends the utility tax that we now have to add phones and such. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. And I was just curious for feedback from people in this room about that issue, and if you have any questions about the library issue or taxes.
Any questions from the group?
What utility?
Taxes, about the
Or
hospital?
opinions. I'd be curious of your opinions, if anyone has an opinion about.
Okay, this really is an appropriate meeting program. If Jonathan wants to have something afterwards or have a forum somewhere, that's great. This really isn't appropriate for this meeting. Amen.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, can you stay after?
Yeah, I'll stay after. I hope I adhere to.
Thank you very much. Michael? Oh, real quick. Julie, do you have any sunshine moments? Okay. So Michael wants to show you what we've done, what he's done in the international blog newsletter, what do we call it?
It's a website.
Oh, it's a website.
So this is our club website at this point, and we've made a little change, and we put a link associated with international projects. And when you click that link, it opens another page, which is a list of international projects we've had over the years. And you can click on any of them on the left, and you get a little summary of the project and some pictures that show you how that project went. And you can see that we've got several from Mexico, and I've skipped down here to one that was in Siberia, where we went in with some other clubs under the leadership of Kim Bordadell up north, and provided this tractor. And in Uganda, so we kind of skip around here because that's what our club has done. We've had an impact in many areas of the world, and you can see what we've done and what it cost and what the impact is by just cruising around this website. So my personal favorites is this project that I helped trigger. So there's a guy's building these water tanks at a school that help not only the kids in the school, but the people in the local community. So this is your dollars at work. I encourage you to go to our website and click the link. Again, if you go to the home page, it's right here on the left under international projects. And if you want to explain to somebody what your club is doing, or if they're interested in international, they can take a look. It's also searchable on Google and all, so I think the word's getting out now about a lot of our projects, because I know we're getting a trickle of emails saying, hey, how exciting.
Thank you, Michael. So, for me, several years in the Rotary Club, it was difficult for me to know what we were actually doing in international unless I was in the international committee. And this gives everyone a chance to look and see what we have done, what we have done, and what we are doing. Doing is a contraction of those two words. So, Linda Simke, yes. Would you please introduce our speaker?
Thank you, President Ken. Good morning, everyone. Today's speaker, Oscar Chavez, is the Assistant Director of Human Services for the County of Sonoma. Prior to joining the county, he worked many years for Oxnard College's Office of Community and Economic Development. After leaving Oxnard College, Oscar became the Director of Business Support Services and the Director of Engagement and Public Relations for a large community-based organization in Bakersfield. His career then led him to Sonoma County, where he went on to serve as the Executive Director of the Community Action Partnership of Sonoma County. Now, as an Assistant Director of Human Services for our county, Oscar oversees the county's Upstream Investments Initiative, a policy framework designed to strengthen our community's ability to implement evidence-informed practices and shift funding towards prevention. He is also responsible for the department's planning, research, and evaluation functions, as well as community and client engagement. Please join me in a warm Sebastopol sunrise welcome for today's program speaker, Oscar Chavez.